Salute everybody. What it do, what it do. Appreciate you coming in and check out another episode of Uncommentary with your boy. I'm gonna try to get through this pretty quick. I don't want to be here too long. Just wanted to drop some thoughts real quick. You gonna do? Just wanted to drop some thoughts real quick on a few things I noticed happening in the boxing here in the past few days that I really wanted to speak on. Before while it was still fresh. While I had the time. And if you're checking this out on the replay, I appreciate your time, appreciate your attention. And yeah, we're just gonna speak on a few things real quick. So first off, real quick, well, the theme kind of for this video is kind of keeping the same energy consistently keeping the same energy, standing on your square, holding to your word, requiring the same things from all fighters. You know what I mean? As far as principle and your morals and keeping your word and all that. You know what I mean? Like how you handle yourself as a man or as a woman. For the sisters that's boxing. So, just real quick, I just wanted to. I think it is absolutely criminal what is happening with Shakur Stevenson right now. I don't understand how the fans aren't up in arms. Like this man is literally like walking around with his hands out, like begging fighters to fight. These are all professional boxers. These are grown men who beat up other grown men for a living, who beat up other grown men for a living. That's how I always describe boxing or combat sports. Like these people crazy. Like they're a different breed. They're separate. They're cut above. But like you hear always that some people like to say, "Oh, no fighter is scared of another fighter," or no, and that's true-ish in the sense that like yeah, because in the right circumstances, they'll kind of get in the ring with anybody, as long as the money's right or all that kind, the timing is right. But I know for a fact that that's not true, and that you know, I've heard this from fighters directly that they feared other fighters. Now, like I said, with the right circumstances, they'll still get in the ring because they're crazy. Fighters are crazy. Let's just just call it what it is. And, in the best ways, sometimes they're not the best ways, but fighters are a different breed. So in that sense, they're not afraid because like they'll give it that shot. But knowing that fighters ain't stupid though. They can see competition in their peers, and because of their experience, they know when someone's skills match up against their own, or exceed theirs, or if someone's style is problematic for them. They've dealt with that in the past already. So or like in the case of like a Wilder, where you're just like, yo, I really don't want to be knocked out in that fashion in front of my friends and family. Like that's terrifying. You know what I'm saying? Like so, like people admitted they were scared of Mike Tyson when he was on the rise, and in his heyday. So I and I don't know if it's the fighters themselves or just the teams understanding how bad of a matchup, how bad of a style matchup Shakur is for them, um, or them having plans for their fighters and them feeling like they're in a very close place to kind of getting their fighter to some sort of star status or being solidified in a sense. They clearly have business plans for these kids. So, I'm trying to take that into consideration, but understanding that at the end of the day, it's up to the fighters, bro. Like your team work for you. Like if you don't fight, they don't get paid. So I know in a lot of cases it's the teams not liking that matchup, feeling like they're not getting enough reward for taking the risk of fighting Shakur right now with no belt. But bruh, like this dude is just going down the list of opponents, just like yo, Shakur is somebody outside a gas station asking for change right now in boxing. Like that is pathetic. That is pathetic. Like, can you imagine if the dang Warriors get to the playoffs and they have to run around and they sending tweets and text messages, and Steve Kerr and the front office is sending emails and stuff, and reaching out to hitting them on the FaceTime and the Skype, doing Google Hangouts, and where they going old school with it. They trying to like find people got MySpace pages still. Like, yo, how do we get in touch with these other teams so that we can play for for a chance to get this championship? Like, can you imagine if a football team got through the regular season, earned a playoff berth, and then had to run around and find another playoff team to play them, and they was literally going down a list of playoff teams, like, hey, y'all want to play in the first round? And the other team was like, nah. And then like, okay, next, y'all want to play in the first round? Like, nah, not really. We don't like that matchup. Like, huh? That's what's happening. That that's what's happening. Like in an alternate universe where the Cowboys are good, that'd be like the Cowboys, they have to go to the Eagles. Like, y'all with it? Like, nah, like, dang, okay. Let's talk to the Redskins. Y'all with it? Nah, dang. Like, okay. Uh Detroit Lions, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, bro, like, can you can you imagine the Warriors having to do a press release where Steph Curry is doing a press conference and he's like, yeah, man, we would love to play the first round of the playoffs and get to the next step, or let's say they was at the Western Conference Finals. Yo, we would love to get through the conference finals and see if we can get onto that chip. But you know all the other teams we're reaching out to, they turned us down. Like, huh? They turned you. It's the playoffs. Do you want a chance for the belt or not? You want a chance for that trophy or not? You want a chance for the championship or not? Like, isn't this what you in it for? Just because you don't like the matchup. So okay, so let's say you got the semifinals, the Warriors win, and then the Phoenix Suns win, and they're gonna play each other for the conference finals. And the Suns is like, oh, man, you know what? We don't really like that matchup. Nah, And then they make up some long drawn out excuse about revenue and ticket sales and how the Warriors gym ain't popping like they gym. They practice gym ain't cooler than theirs. Their arena ain't nothing. They fans are so much cooler. They pulling in so much more revenue from hot dogs and pretzels and popcorn at the Phoenix arena more than the Warriors are pulling. Like, bruh, what are you talking about? Like, no, you have made it to this point. You have made it to this point. Y'all both want to be champions now. Y'all at this level together. Now y'all gotta play each other to see who get to the chip. Shakur has made it to this point. Zapata has made it to this point. Shakur has made it to this point. Cambosis has made it to this point. Shakur has made it to this point. What's the boy name? House Cat Cruz has made it to this point. And they're like, yeah, I noticed the conference finals, and yeah, I'm good. We don't really like the match. Like, what? Can you imagine? Let's say that list of people who was turning somebody down. Let's say that list was Shakur, Devin, and Tank instead of House Cat Cruz, Zapata, and Cambosis. Let's say there was an opponent out there, up and coming dude, solidified prospect, a genuine contender, trying to get to that next step to be a champion, at least get to an interim title shot, something. And he went to Shakur. Shakur said no. He went to Devin. Devin turned him down. He went to Tank. Tank said no, thank you. Can you imagine the response if it was them three people who was turning somebody down? Can you imagine? And be real, like be honest. Let's say it was them three young kings that turned the person down. Would this story just be going by the wayside, just water under the bridge, just keeping it real hush hush? Nobody, everybody knows Shakur getting ducked like crazy, and there's nobody saying nothing. There's no media pressure. There's no fan pressure. Ain't nobody on these dudes' helmets like calling them out. There ain't interviews or episodes of different shows where people are like, "Yo, what is going on?" Like, you're like the people that's ducking. Like, are they people letting that slide? Are they letting that fly? Like, yo, bro, I don't know. Like, is the Mexican community okay with that? Or maybe they are. Are they like, yeah, okay with that because of what Shakur did to Valdez? Maybe I don't know. Maybe somebody later on, can hop in the comments and let me know what's going on with that. But anyway, I just had to touch on that. Like, bro, this is it's disgusting, it's disgraceful, and I am thoroughly, thoroughly, thoroughly disgusted with boxing as a whole and the fans. Um, for not keeping it consistently with the same energy at all. Because, like I said, we know what time it will be, and we have proof of this going on right now with the Bud and Earl situation. And regardless of how I feel about it, whether or not I go with the group that believes Bud is ducking and he messed it up, or it's the business, whatever. Like, y'all know how I feel about that, and I'll touch on it a little bit later on in this episode. But regardless of how I feel about it, the fans have agreed that Bud ducked, and look at the response he's getting, whether it's deserved or not. I'm not touching on that at all. All I'm saying is look at the response Bud is getting for ducking undisputed, and that's just one fight. He's just ducking one dude, Earl, for one fight, and look at how they on this man's helmet. You got Isak, House Cat Cruz, Williams and Payton, and Cambosos was like, yeah, nah. Duck Shakur Stevenson blatantly. And I mean, ducked him boldly, without hesitation, without fear of reproach or any type of retaliation or just bold as hell. Like, oh, the WBA, the WBC ordered this fight. It's been mandated by the actual sanctioning body. No, we would rather fight a fight where we can knock them out easy. Esau Cruz Pop said that, y'all. He said that. We would rather fight Lomachenko because that fight would be easier for us and we can knock him out easy. Then must have caught himself because later on he was like, "Oh, but it would be just like a Shakur just running the whole time. That's what it is. It'd be like a dog chasing a cat. Like, well, right now the dog chasing the cat is Shakur dogging you, chasing your little kitty cat ass through the streets trying to get you to scrap. And you done ran in the crib and then had Pops close the door and he drawn all the blinds and let all the curtains through. Like, nah, ain't nobody home, bro. Stop chasing my son. Like, bro, that's crazy. It is crazy to me how everybody's just letting that slide. So that, that's what, and so like the people on that list. Just to touch on this situation real fast, the Devin Loma situation, bro. You see how people is letting this dude Loma is blatantly trying to play games with the date, and y'all like bold as a mug. After he already said on multiple occasions, but most importantly on camera with Devin in his face, him and Bill standing right there, with them standing right there in the ring when oh boy Bernardo Suna interviewing them after the Jermaine Ortiz fight, and Loma says, he said it in the interview previously, but then he says again, he confirms that he is willing to concede and do whatever Dev asks because Dev is the undisputed champion. He said this on camera, in the microphone, live in the arena. He just got the dub. Bernardo Suna, he reiterated, he referenced the interview, the previous interview Loma did. Hey, we heard you said this, that, and the third, that you don't make any concessions, you ain't gonna make difficult in the negotiations. What's good with that? Put the pressure on Buddy. Loma's like, yeah, he's undisputed champion. All he said was which was kind of weird, but he said, I just need more time because I will be ready. Like, bro, how much more time, bro? How much more time you need? I need more time to prepare. Prepare what? You the Matrix. You're high tech. You're Mr. Pound for Pound after losses and not avenging them and ducking people blatantly and fighting mediocre competition for a couple years straight, still on the pound for pound list. You're that dude. You're the greatest fighter since Muhammad Ali. You're better than Bud ever did. You were chasing Tank and Floyd down, and a few years ago when they were, Floyd was active and all that. I mean, you're that guy. There's how many lightweights better in the world than Devin Haney? Bob said before he got him the top rank. He's pillow fisted. He can't punch. He's boring. He just clinches. Why? Why do you? And I don't want to hear the heavyweights excusing him. Like this lightweight. This is heavyweight. I don't want to hear that because you ain't say nothing about that with Ortiz, Nakatani, what's the other boy named Comey. You ain't say nothing about that with none of them. So I ain't trying to hear about Devin in the heavyweight. I don't care. Again, you supposed to be pound for pound. Prove it. Prove it. Now, let's see. Quit stalling out, Mr. Pound for Pound, and let's see it. And you know what? Speaking of pound for pound, if what Loma is saying, if we gonna go off of that and be like, oh, it's so funny, Loma called Devin a heavyweight. Okay, well then Devin is the greatest pound for pound fighter in the history of mankind because he is doing the most insane weight cut we've ever seen achieved successfully in history. This man has been cutting from heavyweight to 135 his whole career consistently, and he never missed. And now he's undisputed at lightweight, and the man's a heavyweight. You heard Loma. The man he's the Matrix. His word goes. What he says is final. He said Devin's a heavyweight. So from now on, Devin is the greatest pound for pound fighter of all time because he's cutting from heavyweight all the way down to lightweight, all them pounds for pounds that he's dropping, and he's undisputed at lightweight. So there, now you have it. Keeping it consistent, right? Crazy. And they know the man is a Muslim, and it's not like he's trying to rush the fight or get one over on Loma. They know he's trying to get out the division. This is his last fight, and this is supposed to be Loma's dream. It's undisputed. That's his dream. That's the ultimate goal, and it's right there in front of him, and it has been, for a while. He didn't have to fight Ortiz, but it's right there in front of him. Your dream against somebody who is evidently not that good. And you talking about you need more time to prepare. You're trying to push it back. Dude about to be out the weight division. And on top of that, the reason he wants to fight at a sooner time is because of his faith. So I thought that was supposed to be the most sacred, respected aspect, in this country, one of the greatest freedoms to be respected, religious freedom. You see how they work with Khabib and them. So why ain't Top Rank and ESPN pushing along like, nah, man, let's make this sooner. Originally, Bob wanted to make it sooner. Now all of a sudden they're trying to push it back to just after Ramadan. Like, I thought you said you would do whatever this man had. He said, give me more time, I'll be ready. He gave you some time. He ain't mandate to fight the week after. Come on, High Tech. What you need? And and when Devin had undisputed on the table again, look at the contrast of behavior. And look at the energy he got during it. Even though Cambosis and his team were clearly trying to play him, what was the pressure from the fans? Man, Devin, you better hurry up and respond. You better take it, or else you duck it. You talked all that smack. Ooh, and Cambosis, he putting that pressure on you now. Yeah, he's showing you he's giving the hand. He's the old what for? Oh, look at old Cambosis. He's really sticking it to him. Come on, Devin. Let's see what you about. Is you gonna price yourself out? Are you too high and mighty, too Hollywood? Like, let's remember that. I remember that. We knew they was trying to mess the man over with the deal, and he was still getting pressure to take it. And Cambosis was like, "You got 48 hours," and then gave the man 2 days to do it, so he couldn't coordinate with his lawyers and have stuff reviewed and make sure. Like, bro, really tried to pull a fast one, and the pressure was on Devin to accept the scam. Loma has this dream in front of him yet again. The champion himself, for religious reasons, needs to fight a little sooner, but it's still plenty of time to have a full camp, prepare all of that. And Loma's like, no. Let's push it back. No pressure. That's fine. No response. Crazy to me. This man is stalling for undisputed. Again, I'm going to use Bud as an example, and this has nothing to do with whether or not I agree with Bud's actions or not. I'm just saying, look at the situation. In the fans' eyes, Bud is stalling undisputed. Look at the energy. Look at the response. And it's another pound for pound fighter. They think Bud's stalling out undisputed, and they on his helmet day and night. Kid Cudi. They Kid Cudi and the mess out of Bud's social media right now. They on it. Loma stalling out. No pressure. No pressure. No pressure. Not keeping that same consistent energy, man. And speaking of Bud, uh, that's a good transition. Let's touch on this glove gate real quick with Bud Crawford. Listen, I want y'all to understand one thing. I don't want to hear nothing about this. I don't care. I don't. In my Bud voice. Well, hold on. Before that, let me just tell you this. This is I can give you a real succinct, concise uh, review of the Bud situation. Until they launched an official investigation into Tyson Fury, his camps, the promoters, the networks, for all three of the Wilder fights, especially his gloves for the second fight and the first fight. But until they launched the official investigation into Tyson Fury's gloves for the first and second Wilder fights, when it comes to Bud's alleged glove gate, and to use Bud's words in my Bud voice, hey, what y'all think about Bud's gloves? Uh, you know, I don't even I don't even know this guy. I told the fans, you asking me about some gloves that I have no or no know nothing upon. That's how I feel about it. I have no or no know nothing upon any situation or issues with Budrick's gloves in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Listen, the good brother Bud, his gloves are fine. If they busted, it's because his hands are too manly. He had too much testosterone pumping through his body, and he started growing like the Hulk in them mugs. His fists, every time he cracked David Avanesian across the head, it like how the Hulk, whenever he get hit and he gets more mad and he grow, like every time he would hit Avanesian clean, it was like souping him up. He was going more Super Saiyan, and we just kept getting more and more swole on him. And you know what I'm saying? He was too much man for him. And you know, his hands busted through the gloves. Like, what you want me to do? Other than that, I know have no that I have no or no nothing upon. That's what I feel about the glove. I have no knowledge or no nothing upon. I don't know. I'm gonna need to see a complete and full investigation of Tyson Fury before I even can even consider doing any type of review or any type of close up research on Bud's glove situation. I have no nothing upon a situation with Bud's gloves. I don't know. Let's get that Tyson Fury investigation first. And you know what's crazy? I'm talking about keeping it consistent. Where all these people who are so worried about Bud's situation and so sure that there is foul play going on with Bud's gloves and nah, that's messed up. Nah, you can't. Nah, we ain't doing that. And they all on David Avenesia's team, like, yeah, they're filing a complaint, launching an official investigation into the Nebraska Commission, and blah blah blah. Yeah, everybody who is waving the flag on that hill, y'all should all be ashamed of yourselves. Every last one of them. Because I ain't seen none of y'all doing battle with us with these clowns on the internet when it was Deontay Wilder's turn. I didn't see none of y'all, not a single one. In fact, I saw a lot of y'all finding ways to justify and defend the clear shenanigans we could see going on with our own eyes. And that's what I saw. I saw a great deal of people bending over backwards, moving heaven and earth to do anything but admit what they could plainly see that there was some weirdness going on with Fury's glove. They wouldn't even admit that it looked weird. But now these same people is all on Bud's helmet, bro. No. No. I don't want to hear it. I don't care. I need to see that investigation first. That's what I want to see. Um and using another segue, perfect segue with Mr. Fury, talking about keeping it consistent and keeping the same energy or the lack thereof in boxing currently. Speaking of Fury, and I can use Bud as an example yet again. This dude Fury and Usyk is stalling out undisputed and have been for a while. They've been playing and dancing. The dude Fury fought, bro. He fought Derek Chisora and Dylan White, bro. That's who Fury. That's his last two opponents. The greatest heavyweight of all time. The baddest man walking this planet. He fought Dylan White and Derek Chisora, bro. Usyk at least rematch Joshua. You know what I mean? Like, bruh, now that it's over, now, you know, we had Usyk clout chasing Wilder, saying he was coming to the fight. He wanted to fight him next, never showed up, then denied he ever said anything about it. Like, this weird behavior. You got Fury, you know, he coked out of his mind. He don't even know what day of the week it is. He don't know what's going on. So he just shooting off at the mouth, saying all kind of crazy stuff in his interviews. Clearly smacked out on national television. You know what I mean? Like, fighting straight bums that he's already beat a billion times already. And they got undisputed on the table. Where is the pressure? It's not just them. You got Better Be Even Bivol. Undisputed has been there for the taking for a little while now. They're taking other fights. Both of them. Where is the pressure? Look again. And I'm not saying that any of it is not warranted or is inaccurate. I'm not speaking on the validity of people's outrage. I'm just speaking on the outrage in and of itself. Look at the outrage and the response to Bud Crawford. Look at it. Listen to it. Read some of these comments. Look at the collective blitzkrieg that boxing fans are dropping on Bud right now for ducking Spence and stalling out undisputed. Now look at the contrast between the energy they got for Bud and the energy they got for Fury, Usyk, Better Be, or Bivol. I do it. I got another one for you. Cool Boy and MJ Akmandalia. Got that on the table. Cool Boy been saying he wanted undisputed. Been saying it. No pressure for Akmandalia to reciprocate or no pressure on his teams to make it happen. The network, nothing. Nothing. Silence. And then just look at the deafening sound of the hatred being poured out on Bud right now. Again, regardless of whether some of it is warranted or not. Y'all not keeping the same energy. Y'all not being consistent at all. Not even a little bit. You mean to tell me they can't turn down some of that Bud attack just a little bit, siphon some of that off and send it over and pressure these other undisputed fights to happen that's right here in our lap as well? Not a shred, not an ounce, not one bit of that energy. We just gonna direct it up. Well, and Eddie Hearn said that this wasn't the biggest fight in boxing. He said that Canelo Bivol was bigger than this. Yet we got 3 other undisputed fights on the table. We got people stalling them joints out as we speak, and no one cares. Either they don't care or they don't care to speak on it. They don't care to draw attention to it. One of the two. Some of these people, they see it, they notice it, but they dare not speak on it. Just like they dare not speak on Fury's gloves, but they dare to speak on Bud's. Y'all not being consistent, man. This is just some of the things that I noticed in boxing these last few days that it's been bothering me. It's been bothering me heavy, and I just had to go on and speak on it real quick and say, yo, y'all, if this applies to you, if you fall into this category at all, just take a moment, stop. You know what I mean? Stop and look. Search yourself. Like hearing a good sermon, you know what I mean? See if it applies to you, search your heart. Hey, only a hit dog holler. If you hollering, then see where the inconsistencies lie within your own view and your communication about the sport and fix it. Say, okay, yeah, you know what? I was being a little consistent on this. I didn't, I was going real ham about this, but I didn't really say too much about that. No, you're right. Let me chill. Let me try to fix that. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't gotta listen to me. I'm just partially just talking. But again, I'm a man of principle. You know what I mean? It's like bro, our word is all we got. And in this day and age where everything is recorded, it's too easy to be exposed for your inconsistencies to not fix them. And again, if you're just that type of person, then that's gonna show as well. When I see that you're just that type of person that you don't mind being a two-faced, two-timing back and forth, sometimes feet on both sides of the fence, moonwalking and sun strutting and shucking and jiving and doing all this weirdo stuff and never taking accountability. And you doing all that, then okay, we all right, cool. Now I see what's going on. I can just stay away from you, respectfully. But if that ain't you, if you a real one, and if you see someone you care about, propagating these inconsistencies, this lack of keeping the same energy, you know what I mean? Help them out. Reach out to them. Say, listen, brother. Listen, sister. I don't want to leave you in that stage I see you in. You know what I mean? Help them out real quick. Be like, yo, you wildin'. You got to keep it consistent. Now, most of them is just gonna freak out. They just gonna, you know. But that's how you know a prick. So that's it, family. Like I said, I didn't want to be on here too long, but I just had to say, I just had to speak on that, bro. Like that is unacceptable. Unacceptable. And like this kind of stuff has to be fixed in boxing. This is why so much foolishness is able to be done and get past in boxing because the fans do this kind of goofy stuff, in between and with the different dynamics of the different fights being made. So, so that's all I want to say. Keep the same energy. Don't be inconsistent. Don't be one of these weirdos out here that's trying to put Bud's head on a spike for his alleged glove situation, but you ain't say nothing about Fury. Don't be one of these people going at Bud or Earl about undisputed, and you ain't sent a single tweet, text, Snapchat, Facebook message, DM, to Fury, Usyk, Better Beef, Bivol, or MJ Akmadali. I don't want to hear it. Yeah, I don't want to hear it, man. Y'all get on Loma head too. Like, hey, you said you concede to everything. This man has a religious month of fasting coming up. Hey, let's get this cracking. He's the undisputed champion. Give him the respect he deserves and concede to all his demands like you said you would. You know what I'm saying? You don't need more time anyway. You the Matrix. Y'all, soup his head up. Tell him what he like. Hey, you don't man, you good. You don't dance circles around that young man. He don't got no experience. Remember, you got like 750,000 amateur fights. What can he do with you? You know what I'm saying? I get on his help. But that's it, man. Appreciate anybody rocking out with me, man. Appreciate anybody catching this on the replay. It's your boy St. Louis. Just missing my commentary. Signing out.